2 rides in a hole. And then I've
Mhm.
seen guys that have been like really good paddlers and they just get their ass kicked in a playboat.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
like, because it's not their style.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
you also, having that playboat in your repertoire, like to your freestyle when you're in your creek boat or your longboat or something, and you do get worked. Like
Yeah.
you do, and I don't care who you are, it's gonna happen if you're out running.
100%. Yeah.
it's
Yeah. Yeah.
it's it's having that playboat background to back to. I've been in holes and I've rolled over and I'm getting worked and I feel for the current. I'll feel
Yeah.
pull and I'm just stay calm. And I've
Yeah.
watched
Yeah.
good paddlers roll over and go. And one thing that comes back to me was you actually raced the green race in
Yeah.
2018.
Yeah.
And you might know where I'm going with this because we talked about
100%. Yeah.
for all my listeners here, Matt came over. He did the green race in 2018. He was in town, and you had not ever paddled anything that steep, probably.
I paddle stuff that steep, but never in a longboat.
Yeah, well, that meant in a lot. Yeah, because
Yeah,
for a
and
lot of
certainly
people
not with
listen,
a mentality of going fast. Like, yeah,
and you came down. You were having a pretty good race lap. You came out of Gorilla, and anyone that knows the green knows Nice's hole, and you had a pretty good working in Nice's hole, and you pulled out some of that playboating skills at that
but I
point.
think the thing that probably kept me in there was more tenacity than anything else. Like
But
determination that I wasn't going to swim in front of 1,000
yeah,
people on the bank.
and well, trust me, there's a bunch of people swim the green races. So
Well, quite. But I think it's also, keeping your head cool in that kind of situation. Um, as much comes down to drawing on everything you've done before. Like as you were saying, having different disciplines in your arsenal to kind of draw on. I think the value of doing freestyle in for creeking is huge, and likewise the value of doing slalom or doing surf or
mhm.
all those things. It all feeds in, doesn't it? I don't want to claim this is my wording, because it's not, but everything we do informs everything we do. Like all things feed in together and assist in you being a better paddler.
It for sure, being
Yeah,
multidisciplined. I've talked to a lot of paddlers, and being that multidisciplined paddler, makes you well-rounded in everything. But
exactly.
actually,
Yeah.
I have the footage here
Oh
if we
no.
can pull it up. So anybody, can you see this pretty good?
Oh dear, there it is. The terrible, terrible mustache.
The fast stash, buddy. That's
It,
what
well,
it's
it,
called.
hey, it definitely worked for the top half of the race.
Yeah. So I think you did. It's a short video. I think it's 58 seconds.
Yeah,
Can you
yeah.
see it on your screen?
I've got it. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, some awful trash talk.
What was
There it
that?
is.
Catch a fish in your mouth. What's that mean?
Oh, I was just assuming that anyone who's going upside down is going to be there long enough
Okay.
to make a decent attempt at fishing.
Let's see. That's not you, I think.
That is me.
Okay. So
Yeah. So
what
I
was
I so I clipped my paddle on the rock as I fell off Gorilla.
let's break this
Um.
down because I'm sure you've seen it a couple times.
Yeah. Yeah. So my paddle clipped on the rock on the left hand side, the blade.
Over here
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
we can't
Yeah.
see out of the frame.
Yeah. And then it
Oh yeah, look at it.
there.
Look at
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
paddle.
Yeah, so it
So
then shot up through my left hand completely. So my left hand's off the paddle, kept it in my right.
oh
Um,
wow.
but then, yeah, and then just flipped in speed
Yeah.
trap.
See, because I've
Um,
seen briefly right there. No hand on the paddle. Now
yeah,
the
yeah. So you have that moment where I was like reaching for it again, but couldn't find it. And then under the water, found it
it
again, just
actually
in.
what's crazy is if you look right here, it almost looks like you've swam. And I think that's what
Yeah, yeah.
the
Oh,
rest
yeah. I mean,
because look where your
hats
paddle
off
is.
to them because, if I had been swimming right there, they needed to get me. So 100% they did the right thing. It's just hilarious that then he kind of flops off my boat as I'm rolling
Now,
up.
now here's what actually made you get offline again because see, you need to straighten up and
Yeah,
try to get
exactly.
over.
And then I'm penduluming on his rope, right? Yeah.
Now look, that right there causes you to almost roll again, but you had a good brace.
Yeah.
Now right here is not good. That angle is not good. That's a whole.
Yeah. Well, I'm just getting dragged straight in there. Yeah, exactly.
But you lined it up. Oh wow, look at that. You did manage to straighten it up a little bit. And then
yeah, I mean, obviously there you've got the two options, haven't you? Either you're going right and doing a proper race line, or you're going to head hard left and try and avoid the shoulder of the hole. And I did neither.
You're like at like a 60-degree angle here, but you're looking good there. But that's in a green boat. For everybody listen, he's in a green boat that doesn't have a lot of rocker. It's really hard to get over that left-hand side in a green boat. And right there, boom, you caught it to the chest, didn't you?
Straight in, yeah.
And as soon as
and then you know, I'm a playboater. I feel myself going over, so I throw myself into a back deck, and immediately I don't know whether my hand.
You don't have a paddle right now.
Yeah, so my paddle got ripped out of my hand in that first roll, but obviously the backwash in that hole is it's ideal, isn't it? So I was able to just grab it again when I came up.
This is the coolest thing. When I seen this, this is one of the coolest things I've ever seen in the green race beatdown. It's like, for anyone that hasn't seen it, I love this part right here. You come up, you're like, oh shit, you have to be thinking I'm screwed, right?
Oh, I was definitely in that place of like, well, I can get out of this, but it's not going to be easy. But probably more erring on the side of getting out of this might well require an out of boat experience.
The crazy thing is, you look over to your right shoulder, you look over right there, and that is awesome. What were you thinking? There's the paddle.
Oh yeah, I had that moment of just looking down and being like, there's no way, there's absolutely no way, but there it is.
I love that reach and grab, and now probably you started feeling good again now.
Yeah, at that point I was like, yeah, I'm comfortable.
And if you look, the paddle's actually upside down.
Yeah.
You notice that?
And I only flipped it when I actually got out of the hole eventually.
And look at that presence of mind to find the outflow.
Yeah, well, I don't know whether that was presence of mind or whether it was just kind of, I'd seen folks getting out that side before, and well, I say I'd seen folks, I'd done it the day before. I think like my last training lap before the actual race, I had done almost exactly the same thing, minus the two extra flips above in speed trap. And I'd still come out with like a fairly decent time. I think I was only just 5 minutes or something the day before.
That's crazy.
Even with a little time in that hole. And so I was like, oh, if I can make this work, I know that I was fast up top. I can still get down and have a decent time. And then stayed in there for like 45 seconds.
When I first seen that video, I was like, oh, you're kidding me. Because I know you trained, you were like charging hard.
Yeah, I trained for
you were taking it serious.
Months. Yeah,
you were taking it serious.
Yeah, I trained for about 3 months every day, training with, you know, a couple of people fairly consistently throughout those 3 months, and then, you know, anyone else that was turning up, and there were obviously lots of folk, which is amazing. I love that thing about the community of people rolling into town the whole time, and you know, you sit there in the fish top parking lot, and you got like cars and vans rolling in, you know. Yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah, and when I seen that, I was like shocked, and I was like, see, that's the presence of mind of like someone that's been in like holes and play boated in holes. Given you are in a longboat and it's drastically different to kind of whip, you can't blast them like normally.
No. Yeah, exactly. You could like,
you surf out of things.
Yeah.
But watching that video of you drop the paddle and then look over, you're like, you roll up with no paddle. Everybody there was like, oh my God. I was running down the bank because I was up top drinking beer and I was seeing you getting work. So I started running down. I was like, yeah. And then you rolled up and you reached over and grabbed it. And I was like, yes. It was like Excalibur. You're like King Arthur pulling a sword out, and you rolled and just side surfed out of it. And I was like, oh my God, that was an awesome thing right there.
But I mean, it was one of those things that struck me the whole time I was out there training, was paddling with people from the Southeast.